Yes, guys. I hope you're good. Today, I'm with Saska G and Sehu to talk about the game between Chelsea and Burnley. What a disappointing result. 2 weeks preparing this game and we drew against Burnley. Actually, 10-man Burnley team without their manager on the touchline in the second half. What an embarrassing performance by our team and our manager. So let me greet our panel. Big up Taskaji, how are you?
I'm good, man. It's a pleasure to be back with you guys. How you guys been?
Yeah, all good, all good. Tijo, are you good?
Yeah, man. I mean, sure, I'm slightly disappointed in the way that we played, but not necessarily the way that we played, but the way that we defended. There's a few there's a few mishaps I'd like to discuss, but I mean, I'm also interested in knowing what you guys think and what your opinion would be about the game that we had against Burnley. But yeah, I'm far from satisfied with the way that we defended, and I've been saying that for the last, I don't know, the last few streams that we've been having. Just, the defense is absolutely horrendous. But yeah, other than that, I'm okay, can't complain.
Yeah, perfect, man. I know Taskaji for a fact. He watched only the highlights of the game since Taskaji doesn't rate our current manager. So I don't know, Taskaji, if you want to start, what is your overall thought about the game on Saturday? Because I have a lot of things to say.
Well, first of all, that's right. I didn't watch the game, and I'm glad I didn't watch the game. I haven't been watching Chelsea for a while now. And you know what I realized? I'm more happy. I'm more of a happy person. A lot of people are suffering just because of my attitude after we lose a game. And I decided to stop, and this has been the best decision. But after I saw the highlights, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked at all. But one person, let me just leave this. One person that I'm very much disappointed by is not the manager, is not the owners, but I'm disappointed for Cole Palmer. This kid, bruh, coached by Guardiola, coming from a real academy. You know what I mean? He steps into the limelight. He bags 2 goals. He takes the coolest penalty I have seen in a while. Audacious. You know what I mean? And this guy gets let down by the whole infrastructure. I mean, how long are you gonna start saying that it's the players, it's the manager? The rot is coming from on top. It's just like when you're dealing with when you look at, let's say, for example, the corruption in Nigeria, you know what I mean? It's coming from the top, you know what I mean? Same as with Chelsea, it's just coming from the top, you know what I mean? That's what needs to stop. Like, I'm fully convinced that Todd Boehly and Egbali are agents of the US government who were sent to destabilize Chelsea, because there's a chance that Chelsea might actually go back to Roman Abramovich, but they want to fully destroy it before it even gets the light of day. Because you can't tell me um, a team or a company that owns other companies, right? Other sports teams and whatever. How can they manage Chelsea this badly? Like, even a stupid person cannot manage Chelsea this badly. Like, it's mistake after mistake after mistake. Like, it's incredible. It's incredible what the ownership is doing. And I don't know if you see from my end, but we need to take a book out of the fans in France. You know what I mean? They're holding it down. They don't want that nonsense. And I'm not sure what's up with our fan base. Probably is because we're getting a lot of people who are getting paid off in the community, brown envelopes. to sway opinions. But for me, this is a botched job. I mean, it's as clear as day. Pochettino was sent in to do the worst, and he's fulfilling his obligation. You know, you can tell me that a team that has Thiago Silva, the moment he came in, our defense stabilized. Like it's truly stabilized. But you're gonna concede against 10 men Burnley, right? And you concede again against 10 men Burnley. You can't make this stuff up. And I've been preaching for a while, but yeah, that's my take on it.
Yeah, thank you, Tuskaji. And we have a Jerry here, Bluebird, analysis saying 40 points in 28 games, great progression from last season. Come on, Jerry, I disagree. Yes, 40 points, but at the same time, we are 11th on the log. So for me, it's not a progress. I'm sorry. For example, another stats came in yesterday. We considered the same goals that we considered overall last season. 48, 48 goals. So there's no progression for me. So Tiro, what is your take about the game?
I have a I have a different opinion on the overall progression of the team because I feel like there has been tremendous improvement from certain players. I'll take Cole Palmer for instance. I'm not going to now come and say because Cole Palmer comes from a Manchester City background that perhaps he deserves to be treated differently from other players. I mean, when you think about the overhaul that we had at Chelsea since last season, we had so many. We had so many chances, so many changes in the team overall that it can none of that can be overlooked. And yes, maybe we are making quite a lot of um, quite a lot of excuses to say that we have a lot of injuries, but those are a genuine factor, in the way that we play, in the fact that we have no stability. I've seen improvement in our attacking front. I've seen that a lot. The boys play as though they want to play, as though they want to score, they want to win the games for us. And it has proven that we need at least 3 goals to win every single game, irrespective of who we're playing against. And in theory, we did score 3 goals with that decisive goal that was ruled out as a handball, but clearly it wasn't good enough, right? Number one. Two, it's that we probably have the shortest team in the Premier League, and we concede a lot of goals from set pieces. We concede a lot of goals from crosses. We just cannot defend to save our lives. From the individual mistakes that we have defensively to our inability to defend against set pieces or crosses, these are the three fundamental things that we need to sort out should we be a team to be reckoned with, because clearly these days we have not had a problem scoring goals. That has not been our problem anymore. Yes, we're still missing a lot of chances. We could have scored 5 goals easily in the game against Burnley with that Nicholas Jackson chance, the Raheem Sterling chance that he missed. We could have won that game 5-2 easily, right? But we didn't. We still missed our chances, and that's a big problem for me. So I I can't blame one person. It is basically an organizational problem that we are dealing with right now. And in as much as I was happy with the fact that Burnley went 10 men down, I deep down I knew we were going to concede a goal anyway because of how good they are, from set pieces and crosses and things like that. And yes, they may be seventh, or what number are they now on the log? 18th, 19th now. They may be in the relegation zone, but they are much better at set pieces than we are, and that's a fact. We pretty much have the shortest players in the Premier League right now. We don't have a lot of tall players that are good enough to defend set pieces and crosses on long balls. We don't have a lot of those. And every team in the Premier League knows that about us. But we do score goals. We have players like Noni, players like Cole Palmer, players like Jackson, players like Mudrik that have found their feet that are scoring goals, but we are just not defending well enough. We have not had a problem of scoring goals in the last 12 games now. We've scored pretty much in every game. That our goal scoring is not the problem. The problem that I think we have right now is the fact that we cannot defend to save our lives, especially set pieces and crosses. And that's my 2 cents. That's basically what my biggest frustration is around the whole thing, around the way that we play recently. It's not good enough. Not anymore. It is not good enough at all. We need to tighten that defense quick.
Yeah, thank you to big up to Christian Dante. But overall, I just want to say this, Sevo. Before the Burnley game, right? Our four previous games, you considered two goals in those games, right? So Mauricio Pochettino and his team, they had 2 weeks to sort it out, to understand what is causing the problem. Should we defend better? Should we do that and that to do better, right? Also, another thing about Mauricio Pochettino, he doesn't understand between playing Kanagalaga as a number 10 in certain games, sometimes not play him. For example, you can't tell me that we need Kanagalaga against Burnley overall. And also, my other thing, why did you start Enzo Fernandez against Burnley knowing that he trained only one game or one training section? Doesn't make sense, right? So that's the kind of issue I'm having with Mauricio Pochettino at the moment. So, man, I said it before, this coach is not good enough for Chelsea Football Club. He needs to leave. But at the moment, I just need to tolerate him until the end of the season. So big up to Rich Money Makers and Dante. So guys on the chat, please let me know what is your thoughts about the game on Saturday. Are you happy with the performance? Are you happy with the coach? So let me read some comments. Say big up guys. It's nice to be here on the channel for the first time. I I am here to try to give you my insight of what happening in the club. Yeah, big up Dante, Rich Money Makers. So Taskaji, come to you, my friend. I'm gonna hit you with this one. Today we're playing this show for Seho, right? So do you think Mauricio do you think Mauricio Pochettino is good enough to lead this club to be successful?
Well. As you can see, it's in the name. Pound of Poch out. I don't think Pochettino is good enough for anything, honestly. If it's in the Premier League, he's not good enough for anything. Pochettino hasn't improved a single player ever since he's got to this club. Show me one single player that can say has improved. Like, he has improved, and it's because of Pochettino. Mind you, before Pochettino even joined, there were players who were on a trajectory. They were showing life. They were showing that, they're getting used to the game. You know what I mean? Players like Conor Gallagher, he's making fewer mistakes. You know what I mean? It's up to him. But if Conor Gallagher had 10 goals this season, that was going to be up to Poch. We were going to give Poch the praise, right? But right now, what has he really done for Chelsea Football Club? He's conceding goals anyhow. He used to be known as a manager who's so defensive. He starts 7 players against Nottingham Forest. Nobody can ever forget that trauma. I know a few Chelsea players, a few Chelsea fans were still recovering from that sort of trauma of seeing 7 defensive players, but you're gonna concede 2 against Burnley. Like where, like Pochettino, like you guys don't understand. Like I've been watching this guy since Tottenham, yeah. This guy, this uncle, he doesn't change. He's one of those stubborn uncles that you know that if this man was to do 1, 2, 3, 4, his life would dramatically improve. It would drastically improve. But he's not that guy. People like to look at Conte and say, oh no, he's stubborn, he's hard headed. But they don't understand that Pochettino is the same thing. And even more so. Because at least Conte can change up the formation. When Conte came to this club, you know, he first tried to play with a formation and maybe a bit of a system with his own little tweaks that the players were used to and wasn't working. And after a few games of seeing it wasn't working, he changed the system to something that he's more familiar with. But the thing is that he gave the old system a try and then he switched it up. What has Poch actually switched up? You know what I mean? Mind you, there was an article. I know some people are gonna be gunning to say, yo, they're scoring goals, like Seho mentioned, they're scoring goals, maybe it's improvement. But mind you, this is just down to the players because there was an article by the Athletic saying that this man doesn't even give instructions. He say the players should be free. That means going forward, they don't really have a plan. You feel me? There's not really a pattern of play. The only thing is the players actually relying on themselves, relying on their quality, relying on their form that day. And a proper big side can't play football like that. This is not 1999, you know what I mean? Where you can just get away with something like that. It ain't 1999. And Poch, the thing is, the crazy thing is that the man doesn't change, guys. This man doesn't change. Not for me, not for you, and not for the fans. Like, he won't change. He will absolutely not change. He's got a problem in the lineup. He's got a problem with picking players in certain positions. Like, this guy, it's as if, I don't know, is he schizophrenic? I'm not sure if he has bipolar or what, but there is some chemical reaction that's going on upstairs that's not ticking well. You feel me? And that's Pochettino. You know what I mean? And then in the media, he wants to be a darling. No, we're improving, we're doing this. Da, 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 da. Uncle, rest. That uncle should rest, guys. Like, for real, for real. This man was truly sent by the devil. I'm telling you, like, if you want to know that the devil exists, and if you think that you're in the Western world, and that's everybody who's watching the stream, everybody who's in the comments, if you think that there is no spiritual warfare going on, you just go see your football club. That's evidence of the devil right there. In black and white, guys. That is evidence of the devil. Don't tell me that I'm superstitious, that a billionaire would actually hire Pochettino, who hasn't won anything. Pochettino, who was riding off the quality of Son and Harry Kane for the longest time. Harry Kane is still bagging goals in Germany. Son is still scoring goals in Tottenham. You can't tell me that it's because of Pochettino. Now look at a player like Philip Coutinho. He left Liverpool, and suddenly the guy doesn't look sharp anymore. He goes to Barcelona, it doesn't work out. He goes to Bayern Munich, it doesn't work out. So clearly it's Klopp. Whatever system, whatever rhythm that they had him in Liverpool, it worked, and he was looking world class. They are those types of players that are improved by their manager, their system, their instructions, their man management and things like that. But it's not the case with Pochettino. is definitely not the case. He hasn't improved anyone. He's out here, he's making a mess. People and the fans were crying, saying that it's Thiago Silva, he's old, he's this, he's that. This man has been saving us a lot of times. And for me, there's no point in him not starting games. Definitely, at least there will be a bit of organization. But Pochettino, because he's an agent, you know what I mean? Straight up Satanist that he is, you know, he's trying by all means to destroy the very fabric that Thomas Tuchel left us, you know. He left us in a decent shape, you know what I mean? Defensively, yes, he didn't have a good start to the season, but he had the same players, and he pointed to that. But as Tifu mentioned, we had an overhaul of the squad, so we can't come back and say that it is the players. Oh, they're not giving it their all. Da 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 da. Nah, silence. The manager is not good enough. The man is a trash can. You feel me? A has been. You know what I mean? He is not the guy, and that's all I have to say.
Yeah, Taskaji, before I go to Sehu, let me read some comments here, please. So, first comment from Rich Man Makers is saying, from my close contact, the Chelsea owners are not happy with our defensive weakness, asset piece, asset piece, and he needs to improve. Also, from Dante, is saying, I like Taskaji. And then another one is saying this, Rich Money Makers, one good point that we are 9 games undefeated. Okay, Conte is a lead coach, not even close. Don't compare, respect, lol. Okay, therefore you should have stay till end of the Coachella stream, promote your channel to move. Okay, okay. Last one say to CFC Gavin, big up Gavin. I hope you're good, my friend. Okay, it's good to you, man. So, what is your thought about what Taskaji said about Mauricio Puccino?
I mean, I can't blame the man for wanting Poch out. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, the large piece of our fan base wants him gone, and I really get it. Look, don't get me wrong. I understand why it is that you would want him gone, but I'd like to challenge everybody, from those people that are on the chat and to you guys that are here on the panel. Which other club do you know that has gone through what Chelsea has gone through in the last 2 years? And if you can name me one club that has gone through the vast amount of changes that we have gone through and survived past what we are going through right now, I'm all ears. That's my challenge to you now. Before I even respond to anything, Tuskegee and yourself, you can respond to this question before I even do anything. Which other club can you attest has gone through the exact type of issues that we are going through right now and has made it past whatever position that we are on right now? Just any one of you can start.
Well,
Okay,
you
okay,
you're giving out trick questions, bro. You know that there's no team that has gone through, sanctions, is, forcing a sale of the club in the manner that it did, a quick fire sale. No other team has gone through that. But its circumstances are exceptional. But I also want to add something, is that some of what it has gone through after the sale of the club is self-inflicted harm. It's self-inflicted. You know what I mean? It's almost suicidal what Boyle is doing. You know what I mean? To offer ourselves at this point. And I'm telling you, man, because you can tell me that
I'm gonna stop you
Newcastle,
right
which
there. I'm gonna stop you right there. You literally just said, or rather, just earlier, you answered the question correctly. No other club has gone through it. Not one. From the sanctions to the sale of the club to the complete overhaul of players to the injury woes that we're having right now, no other club has gone through this absolute nonsense in the last 2 years that we have experienced. None, not one. There have been multiple clubs that have gone through change of ownership, but not such a big overhaul of players, especially with inexperienced players that most of them have not even played a single minute in the Premier League. I don't really know what anybody expected, to be honest with you. I have no idea what anybody expected. I genuinely did not expect us to be in the running for the Premier League title or anything like that, given the fact that we have gone through so much shit that everything from the organizational structure has changed. The medical staff has changed, the board has changed, the ownership has changed, the players have changed, everything has changed. How do we now say, how can we now sit in this setting and say that we had bigger expectations for the club? How is it that we can expect Posh to fix things as quickly as we want them to? When Thomas Tuchel left, he did not leave this club in a good state, and you all know that. It was already in its decline when he was leaving, when he was sacked. It was already in its decline. We all know this. So much so that the vast majority of our fan base was asking for Tuchel to go out. And we know this very well. Then we changed managers. We went from Tuchel to Graham Potter, from Potter to Bruno, from Bruno to Lampard, from Lampard to Poch, and not a single thing has changed. Well, in many people's opinions, nothing has changed. I very much disagree with that because I don't think it's entirely true that we have not changed at all or we have not improved at all. I mean, we have already made it to a cup final this season. So much so that we are going to Wembley again. It may not mean a lot to most people because of the league position that we're currently in, but you are not going to sit here and tell me that we have not improved at all. That is an absolute lie. We have improved. But it's just not good enough. 100%. I understand that. But if we're now going to compare ourselves to any other club that has never gone through the kind of issues that we have right now, it is very much unfair, not just to ourselves, not just to the club, not just to the fans, but it's not looking great at all. Poch has told the owners if you sack him or get another manager, you still need to get some experience in this team to be very successful, and that's very true. You literally have to handpick maybe players with just one hand to say just how many of these are experienced players or established champions or players of the game, or especially in the Premier League. We don't have that in our team. Yes, nobody likes to see the team lose. Look, I'm very disappointed with the way that we drew against Burnley in the weekend. It's genuinely pisses me off that we continuously concede goals as stupidly as we do. It is annoying, but it's expected because it has been happening way before Pochettino came. So, yeah, let me just give y'all a
you
chance to
know,
speak.
all right, so you made some good points, but you know what I was trying to say? I was trying to say that after the sale of the club, after the sale of the club, it's a fresh start.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's a fresh start. We don't have sanctions. There is no transfer ban, right? There is no budget cap, right? For me, after the sale of the club, it's like when you get a new manager in, right? You get a new manager in. If you're a player who was out of the team, everybody gets a fresh start, you know? The manager says he's not picking any favorites, you know what I mean? He's gonna want to see what you're gonna have to bring to the table in training, right? Now, so I wanna ask you a question. The damage that happened to Chelsea Football Club after the sale of the club, after the sale, how significant was it?
Pretty significant, if you ask me, because firstly, not only did we lose faith, did we not have did we lose faith in the new in how the club was, in the direction of the club rather, going forward after the change, or after the force of the sale was made upon Roman Abramovich, and his era was completely done. Nobody knew what was going to happen. Not even me. I was I was hoping that would get back to winning ways. I was hoping that something would come out that's positive out of this whole thing, but but that's not the case. That's not what happened. We have had some glimpses of progress here and there, but obviously that is not good enough, you know? And
All right. Okay. Hold on right there,
yeah,
player.
yeah.
So it's significant, right? That's
Mm.
good. That's good. It's significant. All right. That's good. That's good. But who did the damage? Who overhauled all these players? Right? Who's the one who took out a Champions League winning side, a Premier League winning uh, players out of the team? And he got a bunch of kids, he got a bunch of numbers. He says he's following the data, he's doing this and that. Who did that?
That was the ownership.
So
That
it's the
was the
ownership.
owner.
So you agree that it is self-harm, right? This is self-inflicted harm, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a self-inflicted harm. Look at Newcastle. Newcastle didn't come and do that, you know.
Don't, no,
Yeah, yeah, Baba.
no, no.
Newcastle didn't come and do that. Yeah, I'm gonna put
Hey,
Newcastle in there. After the sale of the club, it's all hands on deck. You know, everybody is free, and they didn't do that. They didn't come and say, "No, we're gonna get so and so who hasn't played Premier League football." So and so. I mean, they did get players in, right? But did they
100%.
do it in such a disruptive manner, such as Todd Boehly? You know what I mean? Because you say that they did
Well,
significant harm to the club. Okay, shoot.
But Toskaji, Toskaji, to be honest, I agree with Tseho on this. Remember, most of our players wanted to leave Chelsea, and then since then, our owners had to sell them. They were unhappy with the current owners or a structure changing at Chelsea, so they asked the club to leave, and then we had no choice but to overhaul the squad and try to rebuild it to a new team. Also, let me add into this. The reason why the club hired Mauricio Pochettino was his track record at Spurs and even Southampton. So I don't want any excuses saying that Mauricio Pochettino needs time to build his team, but at the same time, there's no improvement. Yes, individual players are improving. I agree with you, but in terms of the position of the log, we're not improving. Well, 4 months now or 5 months, still on the same position. Whether we're going to 11th or 10th, that's it. We are not improving. So overall, I don't like what Mauricio is doing at Chelsea. Also, another thing I hated recently about the coach said. He said that the Tatars is saying that we should be on the top four. Are you kidding me? How can a coach talk about the Tata while we are on 11th? Come on, man. It's annoying. We have to do better. But sorry to cut your topic, guys. I have added here, and then I think you have some few minutes to talk. So let's give him few minutes, and then we'll go back to your topic. So Adi, how are you? Can you hear me? Cyril, can you hear me?
Can
Loud
all
and
hear
clear,
you,
brother.
Chief. Maybe he's on
Okay,
mute.
yeah, let me check something. Before, let's say, big up to Coachella in the chat. Seems like the chat room is going crazy now. Let me check something, okay? Ade, can you hear me now? We'll wait for him to come back. So go back to your topic, guys. Sorry to disturb you.
Exactly. So what I was trying to say to Tefo and to you, the coolest Chelsea, is that the mismanagement of Chelsea Football Club after the sale is entirely on Chelsea Football Club. It's on the owners. And the management of Newcastle after its sale is on is on the owners. Like it's on the Newcastle group or whatever. There's that funny woman, the media was making a mockery of her because the way she looks. She doesn't stick her nose everywhere like the way Todd Boyle has been doing, talking to agents and this and that. And us were thinking that something's good is about to go down at Chelsea Football Club. And then we realized that the management of Newcastle is
What happened? Tusker, are you there?
oh,
Cyril?
sorry. I'm saying the project. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Wait,
now
Yes,
we
I
can
can hear
hear
can
you.
you.
you guys hear?
Just in and out. You're going in and out. I'm
I
not
was
sure
in
if
and
it's
out.
your internet or something. Not sure.
Dang, it must be the internet. Okay, let me switch off this. All right, so I was saying that basically the project that Chelsea is not projecting anything. It's not showing any signs of life. The Newcastle project actually does look like a project. It looks like there's progress. Because if you have a project and no progress, then what are we really doing? What are we really doing at Chelsea Football Club, guys? Like, for me, most of the harm, right, was significant damage done after the sale of the club. Mismanagement. Yes, players always want to leave if they feel like this club is done and stuff. It happens. Even during the Roman era, there were players who wanted to leave. Take, for instance, Olivier Giroud. Olivier Giroud, who was instrumental in us winning the Champions League, wanted to leave in January. And you know who stepped in? The woman, what was it? Marina Granovskaya. I probably butchered her name, but I ain't a Russian, so it's okay. So Maria stepped in, spoke to Olivier's wife. I don't know what conversation these two ladies had, but he stayed. He played an instrumental role. Bam! We won the Champions League. And I don't think we would have won it without him. I mean, it's his Champions League too. You know what I mean? Even though that when Tuchel came in, he did play a noticeably lesser role, under Tuchel, but he did contribute to that Champions League winning side. So the idea of players leaving is not, I can't say that it's a golden pass for what Todd Boyle and that group did, and that group of misfits. It's not a golden pass. Players, they want to leave, you manage them. You try to keep them happy. You try to reassure them. You do whatever it takes for the team. Because we've got this saying in football, no one person is bigger than the team, right? If you needed Kante there and Kante really wanted to go, you would move heaven and earth to keep Kante there. If you look, we could have gotten Ronaldo. We don't get Ronaldo. We don't get plenty of experienced players, right? Even if Ronaldo joined this club for a season, fellas, Nicholas Jackson was going to be upbeat. Midfielders, like really, really great midfielders, would want to actually say, we want to join Chelsea. We want to get a chance to play with Ronaldo. We want that on our CV. We want that on our stats. You know what I mean? They would want something like that. Even development, just know that you're working with, a five-time Ballon d'Or winner, right? You would work harder. There is something going on at that club. You know what I mean? The drive, the passion, the culture, the dressing room, everything, the atmosphere, fam. It will be different. He has a presence. The most followed man on Instagram, right? Of course, he's going to bring something to the dressing room, and vice versa. Could take something out of it when we lose. But for me, the benefits outweigh the risks. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, so that between Chelsea and Newcastle, Newcastle has done a far better job at managing their football club than Chelsea has ever done.
Yeah, man. I agree with you on that, Tuskachi. But as I said, some of the fans, the players, I mean, wanted to leave. So unfortunately, we had to sell them. And since we are building a new project, we had to start somewhere, right? And I agree with you. We messed up most of the things, and then now we are suffering. Hopefully, they learn from their mistakes and then do better in terms of bringing some experienced players to the squad to help these young players to do better, right? So let me try Eddie again. Eddie, are you there? Just unmute your mic. Unmute your mic and then let's see. Let me try to help you. Let me do this. Man, I can't. So let's go to this. See, Richmond Maker say I'll be coming on live stream soon, guys. Yeah, man, come in. You're free to come. So, Tsego, are you ready to answer Taskaji?
I'm always ready. I love my boy because we'll always have conflicting opinions about the health of the club and all that, right? Which is great. It's the kind of engagement I'm always looking forward to, especially when he joins our streams. Look, from the management of clubs, I agree. Newcastle has managed their club much way better than we have managed ours. But you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if we win a trophy before they do. I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if we do that. And we stand another good chance of winning a trophy this season also. So yes, we may be playing against Manchester City in the semi-final, which is great. But go and get it. Which is great, right? But you mentioned wanting to get players like Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo is a very expensive player. And we know for a fact that the one thing that the owners wanted to do was to reduce the salary bracket paying to players. Just give me a second.
But at the same time, we know the reason why we didn't get Cristiano Ronaldo was the stubbornness of Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel didn't want Ronaldo at Chelsea. And then it ended up backfiring for him, right? So not getting Ronaldo is not up to the owners, was all up to Tuchel. They asked him, they even prayed and they kneel down, say, "Come on, man, we need Ronaldo to Chelsea just for revenues and stuff." And then he didn't want to sign Ronaldo, and unfortunately, we didn't sign him. So that was on Tuchel, unfortunately, and it didn't end well for him.
True. Very true. It's one of those that we didn't want to deal with, which is okay. I'm not gonna say that, it would have been a great PR move, to be honest with you, for us to have a player like Cristiano Ronaldo in the team. You know what I mean? It may not have been a complete transfer that would have changed the way that the club was going, but I'm also kind of glad we didn't get Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm glad we didn't force the transfer. But in hindsight, we could say that Newcastle United is managing their club way better than we are, right? Which is okay, because like I mentioned earlier, no other club has gone through the exact type of issues that we have gone through. Like let me just give you just the numbers, right? For instance, We have had approximately 34 transfer deals, incomings and outgoings in the summer. Most of the players either have one or two full seasons at the highest level or none at all. And most of these boys are what, 20-year-olds and not 27. So none of these players that we've signed are at all in their primes. These are kids, most of them. The vast majority of the players that we signed are children. Number two, the games missed due to injury this season out of 40 games. Fofana missed 40 games. Lavia missed 39 games. Chaloba missed 32 games. James, he missed 31 games. Nkunku, 29 games. Carney, 29 games. Chilwell, 25 games. Ugochukwu, 23 games. Badia Shield, 19 games. Cucurella, 18 games. Sanchez, 15 games. Out of all these players, I can think of five of them that are actual genuine starters that could have started each and every game that have played this season, and would say for an absolute fact that they would have had a huge positive impact on the overall team. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? This has not been an easy season for us whatsoever. We have had 48 different types of injuries. None of that can be alluded to the coach. I can't say that all of these injuries are because of the coach's um, um, managerial style or training style or any of that nonsense. That can't be true because we have players like Axel Disasi, who has not been injured all season. We have players like Nicholas Jackson. We have players like Cole Palmer. We have so many other players that have not been injured at all, if very little injuries this season. So we have a lot of other injuries elsewhere. All of these players that I had mentioned that have missed the vast majority of the season are very much starters of the game. Reece James, for instance, we know how important and critical he is to the team. The fact that we are missing out on him is a big miss, and it's a big problem. And so, yes, sure, we could allude to the fact that the signings that we have had are all on the ownership, and they could have done better with their recruitment. They could have gotten some bit more experience instead of looking for buying talented players for the future. Because I can guarantee you now that the signings that they made with the long-term contracts, all that they were trying to secure was the future of the club, the future success of the club. Most of our players are really gifted, talented players like Mudrik and Gusto, Caicedo, Enzo, Nicholas Jackson, Noni Madueke. All these kids are very young and they are highly talented. I can guarantee you, just give them 2 more years and they will be fine, right? They will be somewhere close to where they should be at their very best, irrespective of which manager comes in. But they still need that experience in the team. They still need that person to come through and say, dude, you are genuinely messing up, and all the mistakes that you're making are costing us greatly. Perhaps Pochettino needs to have a much bigger voice when the team is playing. Maybe he does have a bigger voice. I mean, I saw him get genuinely frustrated against the Burnley game. He was genuinely pissed off. Looking at the interview that was made with Cole Palmer, he himself said it, that we can't keep playing like this. This is not the way that we need to play, because we are better than this. And the fact that the forwards of the team are genuinely doing the best that they can to try and win us games, our defense is letting us down heavily. And that's the short and long part of it. Our defense is
Our
really
defense
bad.
is really bad.
Yeah, so I just want to ask you something. Sorry about it. But before I ask you, guys on the chat, please hit the like button. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. So, Cyril, I just want to ask you something, right? What do you think Mauricio Pochettino is telling the players during halftime? Because every time we play in the second half, we look lost. Because in the first half, the coach can sit down or stand and watch the game and analyze everything, right? And then in the halftime, he can brief the players. We need to just do that and that and that, so that in the second half we have a better second half. But now recently, in the second half, we always sloppy, sleepy, costing us goals. For example, how many times away teams scored 2 goals against us in the second half? So, what is your thoughts about it? What is Mauricio Pochettino telling these players during the halftime? Because our second half performance is always, man, a bad.
I can't pretend to know what the coach says to the team at halftime. I can only allude to what he says publicly in his interviews and everything like that. But I I I, I don't know what he tells them because we look worse off in the second half more than we do in the first half. There's very few games where we play at our best in the second half relative to the first. But in the game against Burnley, we played okay in the second half, particularly going forward. We played great. We were pushing. We were literally pushing them to the core, but they had a stubborn defense, and we found it very difficult to get past them and score as many goals as possible. But okay, maybe he might not be saying the right things to the players at halftime. I don't know. I can only speculate whether or not he's doing great at halftime. He's being influential at halftime. Maybe even the players don't understand what the message is, or what the message is that is trying to convey to them. It could be anything, right? Oh, uh, either he doesn't tell them anything, or he simply says, "Don't worry about a thing. Everything's gonna be all right." I mean, it certainly does look like that because we look worse off in the second half than we do in the first half of most games. But sometimes we do play better in the second half of the game than we do in the first half of the game. So it's a catch 22. We don't really know. But what I do know for a fact is that it's always up to the players to to play up to their potential. Every single time. It's always up to them. And if if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. If it works out, it works out. Fantastic. But I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to know what he does say, and the only thing I can do is speculate. And yeah, I don't really know. What I do know is that the way that our defense plays is almost as if they're trying to yeah, to sabotage what the forwards are doing, because we can't expect the forwards to do everything. We genuinely need all hands on deck. We need all everybody we need everybody to play at their best, and it hasn't been the case, particularly on set pieces. We have been playing so terribly with set pieces. It's absolutely disgraceful. I don't like watching our team play against set pieces or crosses into the box, because we genuinely fail most of those. And I think maybe that's particularly why we've played so well against the top six, because they don't necessarily play a lot of crosses in. They like to pass the ball across. They like to play fancy football, like Manchester City, for instance. Most of their goals are not coming from crosses. They create their own goals. And maybe that's why we play so much better against them relative to every other team that plays on crosses, or they play with set pieces and they make use of their set pieces. I don't know. But one thing's for sure. We need to adopt the kind of philosophy that Jose Mourinho had in our 05, 04, 05 season, to say that we need to go into games to try to not lose a game than to try and win it first. We have to go instance and go into games thinking we're not going to lose this game and defend with our lives. But then I don't know. It's very much it's exhausting watching the team play, because we know for a fact that we will not get a clean sheet out of this game. We will concede at some point or another. That's always my thing going into our games anyway, because that has been the pattern throughout most of our games that we play. Is that at the end of it all, even if we win, draw, or lose, we will have conceded a goal at one point or another. And that's the frustration that I have right now. We are not defending nearly good enough. And the pairing between the duo of Disasi and Badiashil is always a disaster. I don't know why. It's always a disaster. And I knew that that was going to happen. Immediately when I saw the lineup, I knew we were going to concede. But hey, it's just the nature of the game. We don't have a lot of fit players right now. We have to switch things around. And that's exactly what he did. And it cost us the game.
Yeah, this is why I said why Poch didn't start Thiago Silva with Disas, because I think they play better together. They played most of the games together. After the better Silva comment, Thiago Silva started to be on the bench and stuff. So clearly you can see that Mauricio Pochettino didn't like that. But overall, man, we need to move forward. Against Burnley, we know what happened. Now on Thursday, we are playing against Manchester United. So, do you think that the way we played against Burnley, are we going to win against Manchester United? Also, right? We can't finish 12 or 11th at the end of the season again. Last season 12, now we're on 11th. We are not sure yet whether we're going to qualify for Europe. We can stay more than 2 to 3 seasons without playing any European competition. That's the issue I'm having at the moment, right? So that's why I'm saying, Marcelo Pochettino, sometimes you as a head coach, you need to push these players more harder. Do whatever it takes for the players to perform. Yes, sometimes I don't want to blame him. For instance, in the second half, we saw what happens. Most of our players were selfish. You saw them, Cole Palmer, Conor Gallagher, Noni Madueke, no, not Noni. Who was that? Mudrik, Jackson, all of them, they were so selfish in front of goal. So in the first half, I didn't want to play Mauricio Pochettino. But in the second half, against Burnley, I think we should have been done better. Especially they got a red card and then we had a chance to win that game and we gave away 2 goals, 2 cheap goals. Our players were just looking, Burnley doing their thing with that first goal. The second goal, our set piece defense, shocking. Petrovic, shocking. Ah, man, it's killing my vibe. But let me read the comment from Dante here. He says, if if we play some formation against Manchester United, no chance you guys think Poch learned anything from last last meeting. Man, you know what? I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore whether it change the system or not. Because to be honest, I'm tired of this coach. I think we should end the season now and move forward, get another coach and start from preseason. But guys, Tasca G, do you think we're going to beat Manchester United on Thursday?
Absolutely not. You know,
Absolutely not.
I don't think
I
we've
don't
got a
think we've got a
chance to beat
chance to
Manchester.
beat Manchester.
Bit of an echo. Okay. I don't think we got a chance to beat Manchester United because, you know, United is a funny team. They're not necessarily playing great football, but they win games. You know what I mean? That means they got that a little bit of a winning mentality in them. You know what I mean? They don't really have to play good football to win. And that's what Poch can't do at the moment. He doesn't play good football and he doesn't win. But if we do keep up this habit of scoring, like what Tejo pointed out, then it'll be up to the players. It'll be up to the players yet again for them to come up with their own plans and their own ideas because clearly Pochettino's not giving them any sort of instruction. He's not helping them in any sort of play patterns in attack. I think the last time we had um, some sort of pattern in attack, I think it was, which was actually really, really, really good, was under Maurizio Sarri. You know, I mean, with Tuchel it was alright, but with Maurizio Sarri it was fantastic because we didn't really rely on the wing backs as much. But anyway, I don't see it, man. I think Manchester United are gonna celebrate. I think it's gonna be our demise, and I will advise you not to watch the game.
Why did I expect you to say something like that?
Try, bro.
Yeah, but I get you, man. I get you. You'd be much happier if you didn't watch the game. But okay. Nah, I think I'm gonna watch the game, man. I would like to see all the nonsense that the boys do, and I'll have to complain about that in my Twitter account. Obviously, should they go and mess things up again? But man, it's frustrating, bro. It's frustrating watching the team. Look, I love it when we score goals. I love seeing the boys play the way that they do, and we haven't won against Manchester United in a mighty long time. I think I think we deserve some sort of win against them. They haven't even been playing that great, but they still continue to find a way to win games. They are not playing well. What I would like to see from the team is for them to to try their very best to score as many goals as possible, and we need to be very clinical and unselfish. Number one, that's one thing that we need to do. We need to be unselfish at goal, because Man United is not that great of a team. I've never had that respect for Man United since Sir Alex Ferguson has left. They've been a trash football club, and I don't like them at all. But I still hate the fact that we can't win against them. We haven't won against Manchester United. I think it's been like what, since 2015. It's been a long time since we've won against them in the Premier League, and it's genuinely exhausting. I would like to say that we I would I think it was 2016-17 if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. That time when we won 4-0, and we scored the earliest goal of that season in Chelsea. I think at the way where Conte scored, where Antonio, not Antonio, when N'Golo Kante scored that goal in that game. But yeah, we haven't won against them. If you ask me, I don't. I mean, historically or recently, we haven't managed to score against them. So I can't tell whether or not we. I can't tell whether or not we'll be able to win against them. I surely hope we do. If we do that, it might restore my faith in the team. But yeah, I don't see myself not watching the game at all. I love this team, man, and I love watching the way that we go offensively and things like that. It's sometimes encouraging watching them play, but yeah, I mean, all the best to them. I just yeah, it's a bit concerning. I don't know if we're going to win really. I don't know. I hope we do though.
Yeah, let me read this comment from they saying we were 2 goals up versus Burnley and end up at the end of the game we drew. Check. Manchester United only plays football twice a season, like first leg and the second leg versus Chelsea. Come on, no chance. But man, you know what? For the first time in my life, I'm gonna say this. I think we're going to beat Manchester United at home. I have confidence in Jackson, Cole
Ballsy,
Palmer.
ballsy.
As long Mason Man doesn't score against us, I'll be happy because it would be hurtful. But overall, I want Chelsea to win every game, right? I have to be honest. I want Chelsea to win every game. But at the same time, watching our team playing terrible football is hurting us. Last season we experienced the same pain. This season again. I know yes, still you say that we reached the final. Grateful, but unfortunately we bottled it. So nothing to celebrate about bottling the final against Liverpool because I hate Liverpool and we lost against them. So for me, it's not an improvement. So on Thursday, man, I just want our boys to do whatever it takes to beat Manchester United. No matter what Mauricio Pochettino tell them, the tactics, we know the tactics are not good enough. Because as the article from the Athletic said that Mauricio Pochettino normally he doesn't tell what the players to do in the final third. So hopefully, hopefully on Thursday we beat Manchester United, and the fans will be happy. We'll beg Poch more, but at the same time, man, after the Burnley game, I must hold my horses and just relax and observe the game. Hopefully, for shameless comment, I would say that at least the draw will be good thing for us rather than losing against Manchester United. So let me read this comment. Say from Rich Money Makers, I hate Manchester United more than Arsenal. And then from others say coolest. That was a ball call, but we shall be the man. I know it's a ball call to beat Manchester United. I want my club to do well, but at the same time, man, we have to be honest, right? So, guys, have to wrap it up soon. So, Tero, do you want anything to address before we close the show? Even you, Taskaji?
I've said enough. I feel I want us
I
to
just
win. Sorry, you go first.
no, bro. You had started.
Okay, I want us to win. That's one thing that I can say that with that I can say with my chest out high, with my chest all the way out. I want us to win. Whether or not we're going to win is another thing. But I want the team to win. I want us to win every game. One thing's for sure, we are probably going to score. Um, we most likely will score. What we need to now stop doing is conceding, and I genuinely hope that we can keep them from scoring at least 2 goals. Because I know for a fact we might be able to score 2 or 3 goals. But I would just like to like the team to not concede as much as we used to in the last few games. But it would be great if we don't concede too much against Manchester United, because I don't like losing to that club at all. If there is a fan base that loves win playing against us, it's them. It's Manchester United, because they know they will win, and that says a lot, right? So I'd like us to win. Firstly, second, at this point in the season, I don't think it would make sense for Poch to leave. He should just finish the season, and if push comes to shove, he might just get sacked at the end of the season. That's great. Let's get another coach in that will start from the beginning at the end of preseason. I mean, at the beginning of preseason, and maybe get the right recruitment in. Get a few experienced players that are starters in the game, and let's see how far that takes us. Because right now we don't have nearly as enough experience in the team, and it's costing us almost every game. So, with that said, I mean, I'd like to obviously close out, but I have high hopes for the game on Thursday. I'd very much like us to win. I want to beat Manchester United with all my heart. And I mean, players like Cole Palmer are playing fantastically well. I hope that what he's doing can can permeate in the rest of the team so that we can win more games. But yeah, all the best to us going forward. Tuskegee, please watch the game. Get your heart broken if possible.
Bro, you know that there's a word for those people who enjoy pain. You know what I mean? You know, there's a word for people who enjoy pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not one of those, but I can't stay away, man. I genuinely get excited when the team plays, but But as soon as we start playing, I just lose it, man. But let's see how it goes.
Bro, I think at this point it's pretty much an addiction for you, buddy. I mean,
It kind of is, man. I love this
we just
team, bro. I love it so much. So many issues from people. Whenever I wear my shirt, they always tell me, your team plays shit, right? You know that shirt is you need to burn that shirt, right? You know that your team is terrible, right? Why are you even wearing that shirt? Do you not have any shame? Guys, come on. I know this team plays terribly, but I love it. I love it. I bought this shirt with my own money. I'm gonna wear it. It's a neutral t-shirt that I can wear anywhere in the world, and I will wear it with some sort of pride, but yeah, man, it hurts,
with
man.
full
It
chest.
hurts.
You wear your shirt, bro, but you know what? On closing, I just want to say that I would highly encourage the fans in London to take a page out of the fans in France. They were protesting against, the Blue Co, Todd Boyle and his band of Satanists, real demonic fellas over there, guys. And this is about good versus evil, guys. I'm gonna tell you on that Cat Williams stuff, you know what I mean? It's God's side and the other side. And the other side is Todd Boehly's side, and it's not looking pretty good, guys. Like they really need to protest against this mockery of this football club. Chelsea is a fantastic football club. We're not supposed to be going through all these hurdles in this project or in this transition or whatever. I don't even know what state we're in. Are we even still in a transition, fam? Because this just feels like the car won't start. You know what I mean? We ain't going nowhere. Like, where are we going? Like, like, can someone tell me like where is this club going? Like, cause in a transition, it's like okay, we're at this point. Maybe we finish fifth or sixth, and now we're trying to finish a fourth or third. But can we really say this about this outfit, bruv? I mean, what's really happening? And it's getting to the point that fans expect so much less of this team that the bare minimum feels like it's an improvement. And on that bombshell, don't watch Manchester United versus Chelsea. Save your life.
Yeah, Tuskegee, you're fired up, my friend. But lastly, here, Richmond is maker saying we will improve next season, okay, because because we appointed Brentford set piece coach. I agree with you, but at the same time, man, my only focus is this season, and then I wish that at least we finish in the Conference League position. But man, I don't trust Mauricio Pochettino. So let me read your last comment here, and then I think we should wrap it up. Saying breaking news: they love the Arsenal project, but but that's why Arsenal must fail this season. Ah, man, I don't like the Arsenal project. Come on, to be honest, Chelsea's Chelsea, Arsenal is trash, right? And London is blue no matter what. So overall, thank you, Tejo, Tasca G, Rich Money Makers, JC, Dante, Coachella, Ade, everyone that you came in the show. So thank you guys. Hopefully we can stream on Friday late or Saturday. I'll let you know. It depends of our load shedding schedule and stuff. But hopefully on Thursday we win the game. No matter what, no matter how you feel about Mauricio Pochettino and stuff, all we care about is Chelsea. But if we don't win that game, Mauricio Pochettino, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Come on, man. No more sugar thing. Rich man makers. So yeah, guys, it's been a pleasure for you and for me to host this channel. And if you're new, guys, hit the like button, Subscribe to the channel. I'm the Charles, guys.